Okay, you're up.
No, I can't do anymore.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Would you please, as long as you're listening or watching us, or listening and watching us, or just listening to us, have I got them all covered now?
Lawsoning.
No, that'd be
Listening
my
and watching.
pastor.
No. He's lawsoning again.
Well, he is a Lawson, so what is he going to do?
Look, David killed Goliath with a sling and a stone. He didn't kick the crap out of him.
Well, I could go either way on that one. Anyway, like, subscribe, and follow This Is Truly News, please. And then we'll quit begging and you won't hear all this weird stuff before the show. Like, subscribe, follow. I'll thank you all.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
So you remember Y2K? Of course you do.
Wow.
Right? That's like
I can't always remember my kids' names, but that I remember.
that's when the whole world was going to be plunged into chaos due to malfunctioning computers because the programmers had not programmed the years to go past the year 2000. Yeah, 1999. That's right. 2000 is also the year organizers in Surrey, UK assembled an especially nostalgic collection of objects for Europe's and the world's largest time capsule vault on the grounds of Guildford Castle. By the way,
that's in England, right?
Yeah.
That's where ghosts take place.
Guildford is the location of one of my very favorite podcasts for a guitar store or a music store. So, hi, everybody. In any case, behind the brick facade.
You think they would listen to this, really?
Anderton's music? Yeah. If you watch it, yeah. They would get this, especially Pete Honore.
Right.
In any case, behind the brick facade, scheduled to be open in the year 3000, so we've got a reason to live, are a rust-proof Cooper Mini, a Rolls-Royce hood ornament, a Sony Walkman,
which, by the way, is the same size as the Cooper Mini.
Right, a life-size photograph of World War II era singer Vera Lynn.
Really?
And other artifacts.
I like that picture, but okay.
So as not to be outclassed, the U.S. had its own and much smaller Millennium time capsule containing a chunk of the Berlin Wall, Ray Charles sunglasses, a Twinkie.
Which, by the way, you could still eat.
By the way, we've already been outdone at that point. The minute you put a Twinkie in there, the Brits have it. And the ever popular more due for unearthing in 2100. So
I don't know. I think the Twinkies leans it our way, man.
We've got 2 dates to hit, 2100 and 3000.
I plan not on hitting either of those, but thank you.
Fine.
Animal stories. I have two. Would you like the hippo story first?
Yes.
Or the chickens? Okay. On December 11th, in Katwe, Kabatoro, Uganda, a 2-year-old boy was playing near a lake when a hungry hippo, quote, grabbed the boy from his head and swallowed half his body. A bystander witnessed the event and started chucking rocks at the hungry hippo, which caused it to spit the toddler out. Oh, God, why isn't there video? As the beast lumbered away, onlookers rushed the child to the hospital where he's treated for his injuries sustained in the attack. He turned out to be okay later. Police did warn residents in the area to be on the lookout for the hippo, as hippos can become aggressive when they feel threatened, and they're big, and they're fast. They run faster than you. They swim faster than you. So bicycling is your only chance to beat them in a triathlon.
And they
I had to find this story to be able to use that line.
They're grumpy.
They are crabby.
Yes.
Which is why our guest hosts are generally hippos.
Right.
Because they have the same sort of temperament.
At the Christmas party.
Oh, boy.
It was 1995.
How the hell? How many Christmas parties are there, for heaven's sakes?
Apparently one for everybody. There's an open bar at my company party. I'm on the dance floor doing the moves to Madonna's Vogue. I slipped and fell into the table.
Keep working on that, dude.
Where the CEO was sitting, completely upending the table, food and drinks flying everywhere, and ended up with my butt in the air, my dress up, and my undies showing.
Yeah, that sounds pretty much like a Christmas party.
Needless to say, there were no more open bars at the parties after that.
That's a shame. It was just getting interesting.
I was in my early 20s, grinding up on an older lady on the dance floor. The next day, I learned that she was the wife of one of the chairmen of the board.
I immediately prepared my resignation.
Thankfully, he took it in stride and was like, she really appreciated you giving her the time of day. You shouldn't have taken her upstairs afterwards. That conversation was awkward to me, but I later learned they were swingers.
Like Tarzan and Jane? No.
Yes.
No, not like that at all.
And finally,
Thank you.
my boss made out with a mop. It's always the quiet, serious ones.
See, you can never tell a mop until... Oh, you mean the guy?
Yeah, the guy. The mops are perennially quiet and serious.
Yeah.
Unless
Nice.
you're wearing them as a hat.
From my sister-in-law, Michelle, who is related to my wife. There's a city in Colorado called Fruita. It's part of the Grand Junction Metroplex, whatever you call it.
Grand Junction Metroplex.
Is there such a thing?
No.
It's in Mesa County. It's in Mesa County, Colorado.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hang on.
It's a city. It's the wannabe metro.
Well,
I don't know what
know.
you call it when it's not a metro.
Grand
Anyway.
Junction's nice.
It's a rural area,
Duh.
and the town of Fruita has about 13,395 people in it.
So it's growing up.
It has. And proof that Colorado has been weird for a long time,
Okay.
because every year, you know, the festivals small towns have?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They always have some sort of festival going on.
Oh, they have lots of them, right?
Yep.
There's athletic events, hiking, there's a motorcycle thing. It's all over. And of course, in June every year, they have the Mike the Headless Chicken Festival.
This is almost as good as the Frozen Dead Guy Festival in Colorado.
Yeah, pretty close.
Maybe they should get those two festivals together. See if you
Ready now? Get your pen out. It was September 10th, 1945. A strapping but tender young rooster was pecking in the dust of Fruita, Colorado. Clara Olson was planning on featuring that plump chicken in the evening meal. Lloyd was sent out on the very routine mission to prepare the designated fryer to be fried. After that, nothing was normal. Lloyd's mother-in-law was going to be joining them. He knew she liked to have the neck. My mom did
sure.
that too.
Yeah. I've had
Here, I want the
relatives.
part of the body that has no meat on it whatsoever.
Yep.
So he positioned the axe precisely so that he would leave the most neck.
Okay.
Yes, he said it was important to suck up to your mother-in-law in the 40s too.
He's not stupid.
A skillful blow was executed and the chicken staggered around like most freshly terminated poultry do. And then the determined bird shook off the traumatic event and never looked back. Well, he couldn't look back. He
Didn't have eyes.
No, well, he did, but they were in another part of him that was no longer attached. Mike, it's unknown whether he actually liked that name or not because, well, he had no head. Mike returned to his job of being a chicken. He got back to pecking for food and preening his feathers, just like the rest of his barnyard buddies. I wonder what a headless chicken thinks when he can't actually eat because there's nothing to. Anyway, the next morning, Olson found Mike asleep with his head under his wing.
With his head under his wing or his
Head
stump
under his wing.
He grabbed it. He got his head, stuck it in.
Apparently, he should teach that to the guy on Ghost. He decided that if Mike had that much will to live, he'd figure out a way to feed him. They did with an eyedropper.
Oh, my.
It's becoming quite obvious Mike was special. So a week into Mike's new life as headless Mike, he packed him up and took him 250 miles to the University of Utah.
Said, would you look at that?
Believe it or not, the rather skeptical scientists were really eager to answer all the questions regarding Mike's amazing ability.
Absolutely.
So all they could come up with was the axe blade had missed the jugular vein and a clot had prevented Mike from bleeding to death. And although most of his head was now in a jar, most of his brainstem and one ear was left on the body.
Ah, that's how it worked. That's what I was wondering.
Sure.
Brainstem does a lot.
Since
Okay.
most of the chicken's reflex actions are controlled by the brain stem, Mike was able to remain quite healthy. He lived for another 18 months. He went on tour. No kidding. He did. It cost you a quarter to see Mike if you were in, Los Angeles, Atlantic City, New York, that kind of. He also went from 2.5 pounds to nearly 8 pounds.
Ooh, they kept
Olson
him.
said Mike was a fine, robust chicken, a fine specimen of a chicken, except for
The whole not having a head.
not having a head. It goes without saying there was a Guinness World Record in all this, of course.
There is an actual record for headless chickens.
Now there is.
Oh, boy.
While returning from one of these road trips, the Olsons stopped at a motel in the Arizona desert. In the middle of the night, Mike began to choke. Unable to find the eyedropper used to clear Mike's open esophagus, Miracle Mike passed away. And now Mike's spirit is celebrated every year at the Headless Chicken Festival, of which my favorite event is the Suds Brothers Brewery wing and peep eating contest.
When?
I hope you pick one category or the other.
Okay, so the peeps, the little.
That's got to be what they're talking, right?
Okay.
The little marshmallows.
Yeah.
Sugar covered with sugar,
Yeah, right.
decorated with sugar,
Oh, my God.
fed to children and fat men like me.
I remember eating one Christmas. I ate
And no,
all the heads off all the
Even though
peeps
they may
my
look
mom
like
put
a
out.
chicken, they do not taste like chicken.
No, unless the chicken is heavily sugared.
They taste more like heavily sugared rattler.
Gator tastes like chicken.
Even if it is heavily sugared.
Right.
Yeah. Hippo doesn't taste good either.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.